morning children. Now we are going to start one new lesson, ionic equilibrium. In 11th standard we have learned about this, but in this class, in this 12th standard just we are going to deal about acids and bases. Generally we have discussed in 11th standard. Now specifically we are going to talk about acids and bases, because acid and base, it plays very important role in our daily life also. Sulfuric acid is used in fertilizer industry, and sodium hydroxide base is used in soap industry. Okay, so in this lesson we are going to see the complete study of this acid and base, its concentration, its pH value, all those things we are going to discuss now. Okay, so before entering into the topic, just let us recall what is acid and base. Okay, you know acid, generally we will say it releases H plus ion easily. When we do test with litmus paper, the blue litmus paper will turn into red litmus paper. Acid, it is a Latin word which means acidus. The meaning for that word is sour taste. Base means it is bitter taste. Okay, like that you have learned in your lower classes, isn't it? Okay, so for base, the litmus test answer for blue litmus paper will turn into red for acid. Red litmus paper will turn into blue for base. Okay, then you may did this practical in your 10th standard also. That methyl orange test, phenolphthalein test, okay, to identify acid and base. Then metal, okay, zinc granulase test, all those things we have done, isn't it? So when you add the metal with the acid, you will get a hydrogen gas outside. Okay, so all these are basic properties of this acid and bases. Even the classical, that is the olden, okay, the olden definitions are not giving complete idea about the acids and bases. So the scientists like Arrhenius, then Lowry Bronsted, Lewis, okay, the Lewis as Lewis base we had to know, so Lewis, okay, those scientists, they put their work and they gave some definitions and idea about the acid and base. Okay, first let us here we are going to talk about Arrhenius concept. Okay, so according to Arrhenius, concept, according to him, acids are the compound which release H plus. Okay, any compound which release H plus are called acids. Okay, this is according to Arrhenius concept. Okay, same way base means which release OH minus. So when we take a hydrochloric acid and when we dissolve in water, HCl plus H2O. Okay, here we will get HCl will be split into H plus and Cl minus. Maximum we won't write H plus separately, we will write it as hydronium ion, isn't it? This H and water combined together, we will write H3O plus Cl minus. Okay, H plus and Cl minus only. How we will write H plus? We will write it as H3O plus and Cl minus. Okay, so HCl, it's releasing H plus ion, so it is acid. Okay, so in aqueous solution, when I take sodium hydroxide or calcium hydroxide, okay, whatever it may be, okay, any base, when I dissolve in water, any compound, when I dissolve in water, the aqueous solvent, it releases OH minus. When it releases OH minus, then the particular compound is called as base. Okay, so Na plus and OH minus. Okay, calcium hydroxide will be split as Ca2 plus OH minus. Okay, 2OH minus. So any compound which release H plus are called acid. Any compound which releases OH minus in aqueous solutions are called as base. This is according to Arrhenius concept, but it has some limitation. He said only in aqueous solution. Okay, he is mentioning only in aqueous solution like that. Okay, but in a non-aqueous solution like acetone, tetrahydrofuran, okay, he didn't give any idea about that. So that is one limitation. And another limitation here, ammonia we know it can act as a base, okay, basic in nature, like that we know, but ammonia does not release any OH minus ion, isn't it? Because ammonia formula it is NH3. So that if it dissolved in water, there is no possibility of releasing OH minus from this NH3. Okay, there is no O here first of all. Okay, so it is another limitation. Okay, so then some other scientist is coming to overcome this limitation. Okay, here the next scientist, Lowry-Bronsted. This Lowry-Bronsted theory is also known as proton theory. Okay, he is giving a different approach for the acid base. Okay, so let's see here. This is his concept. According to this Lowry-Bronsted, any compound which releases H plus are called, that is H plus means what? Proton. Okay, so any compound which releases proton are called acids. Any compound that receives proton are called base. Okay, very simply he is giving an idea. So because his theory is fully based on proton releasing and proton accepting, this theory is also known as proton theory. Lowry-Bronsted theory or proton theory. Okay, so according to him, acids are nothing but the compound which release H plus. Okay, base, the compound will accept H plus. Okay, so this is base. Now we are going to see one example here. Okay, so let's say here hydrochloric acid HCl in water. Now in this case HCl and water, here HCl is going to release H plus. Okay, so when it release H plus, now we can say this hydrochloric is an acid because it has the tendency to release H plus. Here who is going to receive that H plus? H2O, water. Okay, when it receives this H2O, H2 when it receives this H plus, it will become H3O plus. Okay, so it has a tendency to accept the proton. So we can say this is a base. Can you understand? Now the water is acting as a base here. According to Lowry-Bronsted theory, now the water is acting as a base. Okay, from here itself we can say it has some limitation. Okay, we are going to see that also. Okay, so now HCl now it is acid releasing hydrogen H plus. Here base is accepting H plus. Okay, so next here plus Cl minus, the Cl minus which release here. Okay, now let's say one more example for base here. For base, let us take water and ammonia. Okay, H2O and NH3. Okay, in this case H2O, how it will split H2O? H plus and OH minus. Okay, H plus and OH minus when it is dissociated as ion H plus and OH minus. Here H2O is going to release H plus. When it releases H plus, it will become OH minus alone is there. This H plus, ammonia is going to get. Water is releasing H plus, ammonia is going to accept that H plus. Okay, so when it accepts this H plus, it will become NH4 plus and OH minus is there. So NH4 OH, ammonium hydroxide. Okay, ammonium hydroxide we will get. If you know that is simply when we write NH4 plus and OH minus, let me write separately so that you can understand better now. Now here water releasing H plus and ammonia accepting that H plus. So now water is acting as an acid. Here ammonia is acting as a base. That's all. Okay, so whoever is accepting proton or base, whoever is releasing proton or acids. Okay, very simple concept. Okay, next he is giving a further idea, that HCl. Here Cl minus is released now. This Cl minus, just think this equation is now reversible reaction. Okay, reversible reaction. Again, this two can react and it can give HCl and H2O. Just remember like it is a reversible reaction, equilibrium reaction. Okay, in such case, now just think only about the product now. The Cl minus which has come from this acid. Let me take this is acid 1. Okay, acid 1. From this acid, Cl minus is coming. What is the tendency? What is the nature of the Cl minus in this product side? If anybody donates H plus, surely will accept and it will go as HCl. Yes or no? Because of the Cl minus. Okay. So what is the tendency of Cl minus here? It will accept H plus. Okay. So in reverse reaction, that one is going to take place. It will accept H plus from this H3O and it will become HCl here. Isn't it? In reverse reaction. So Cl minus, it is going to accept a proton. So those who are accepting proton are known as base. Okay, very simple. It is going to accept a proton, so it is base. So and now this H3O plus is donating proton. So what it will be? It will be called as now acid because it is going to donate proton. Is it clear, children? Okay, so see here. From acid 1 HCl. Okay, from acid 1 only the Cl minus is released. Okay, let me say here this is base 1 because from acid 1 it is coming. Okay, so it will accept the electron from this H3O plus. Let me say here this is base 2, this is acid 2. Here it is acting as acid because it is going to release proton. Okay, now this pair is called as conjugate acid base pair. Okay, now this HCl and the Cl minus. Okay, now this is conjugate acid base. The Cl minus is a conjugate base of hydrochloric acid. Okay, this H2O is a conjugate base of H3O plus because from this it is separated. Okay, from this it is separated and acting as a base. Okay, conjugate. This pair is known as conjugate acid base pair. This pair is known as another conjugate acid base pair. Okay, they will give you one equation like that, like this. They will ask you to find the conjugate acid base in this reaction. Okay, very simple. Okay, here which is present, the anion part. Okay, the anion part, that is the base part, is conjugate base for this acid. Is it clear? So same way here H3O plus. After removing H plus, what is present? That is the conjugate base for this acid. Okay, conjugate acid base pair. Identify conjugate acid base pair for the following reactions like that they will give. Okay, this theory is Lowry-Bronsted theory or proton theory. According to him, any species which release H plus are known as acid. Any species which accepts the proton are known as base. Okay, then he gave another idea of conjugate acid base. Okay, for reverse reaction, conjugate acid base pair. 2 more question. The limitation in this theory, what is the limitation here means he is explaining about the acid base, but even though he didn't explain about the BF3, AlCl3, okay, those compounds also is acting as acids, but he didn't give any idea about this because in BF3 there is no H plus, isn't it? Limitations. BF3 and AlCl3. Okay, these compounds can act as acid. Okay, in the organic chemistry we are saying they are acids, but they are not having any H plus there. If they have H plus only, they can release, isn't it? So according to Lowry-Bronsted, it is not an acid, isn't a acid. Okay, so that is the limitation. To overcome this limitation, the next scientist is coming, that is Lewis. Okay, so according to Lewis, you know, okay, Lewis acid base. According to Lewis, those who are donating the electrons, okay, are base. Those who are accepting the electrons are acids. Okay, so many times we have learned in our 11th standard also Lewis acid and Lewis base, the difference between Lewis and Lewis base. Okay, like that we have learned. Okay, so electron acceptors are acids, electron donors are base. Like that Lewis is giving another idea about this acid and base. Okay, so remember children, first Arrhenius is telling those who are releasing H plus are acids, those who are releasing OH minus are base. That is Arrhenius concept. Next, according to Lowry-Bronsted, here those who are releasing H plus are acid, those who are accepting H plus are base. Okay, these two theories are not able to explain some of the compound which has acid character and base character. So here the third theory is coming. This third theory is Lewis acid base theory. According to this theory, any compound which has the tendency to accept electron are called acids. Any compound which has the tendency to donate electron are called as base. Okay, it may be a compound or it may be an atom or ion, like that. Okay, so now we are going to see Lewis acid and base. Okay, Lewis concept. So according to Lewis concept, acids are electron acceptors. Bases are electron donors. That's all. Okay, so who can accept electron? All the positive species can accept electron. So the metals mainly. Okay, metals can accept electron in its ionic state. Okay, so any metal which has a vacant d orbitals, okay, easily they can accept electron. So that's why simply we are telling metals. Okay, metals and cations can accept the electron, so they can act as a acid. Okay, they are called Lewis acid. Okay, special name for the Lewis acid. Okay, then bases are electron donors. They must have a lone pair of electron or negative charge. Okay, so any atom or any compound which possesses lone pair of electron or negative charge on it can act as a Lewis base. That's all. Okay, so one box is given there, difference between Lewis acid and Lewis base. So Lewis acids are electron deficient molecules. Okay, Lewis bases are electron rich. Okay, so these are positive, these are negative, like they have given some examples also. Just go through that. It is one 2 mark question. Okay, difference between Lewis acid and base. Okay, electron deficient, electron rich. Okay, the neutral molecules means how it will be. Let us take one example and explain that one. Let us take BF3 and NH3. Okay, so here BF3 plus NH3. If you notice this one, boron atomic number 5, 2,3. Okay, here fluorine boron in its outermost shell is valence electron only 3. Here fluorine is coming, 3 fluorine atoms are coming. So now they are forming bond. So totally how many electrons are present around this boron now? 2, 4, 6. Only 6 electrons are present. But to attain its octet rule, to attain the stable state, it must have 8 electrons around it. Okay, so you need 2 more electrons. So this place is now vacant now. Here if you notice here ammonia, nitrogen, same way atomic number 7, it is 2,5. So nitrogen valence electron of 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now how many hydrogens are coming? 3 hydrogen. So 3 hydrogens are coming with the electron and they are forming bond. Now if you count the electron around the nitrogen, 2, 4, 6, 8, totally 8 electrons are present. Now it completes its octet rule, but here it want to help this BF3. That means they are going to form bond here. Okay, this NH is going to donate its 2 electron, not donating completely, just sharing. Okay, coordination compound. We have seen no ionic bond, covalent bond, coordination bond. Okay, here the bond formed between these two are coordination bond. 2 electrons are shared from one compound. Okay, so this NH is going to share these 2 electrons, so that now BF3 and NH3 is there. NH3 is going to donate its 2 electron I am going to form bond with this BF3. So that the BF3 also will have now 8 electrons, 2, 4, 6, 8. NH3 also will have 2, 4, 6, 8. So both will have 8 electrons around it. Okay, so here we can say NH3 is a Lewis base because it is sharing its electron, donating its electron. BF3 is accepting the electron. So BF3 is a Lewis acid. Okay, so like that they have given some examples also. Then carbonium ion and carbene ion. That word may be new to you. Carbonium means carbon with positive charge. Okay, carbene ion means carbon with negative charge. Okay, that's all. So positive charge, it is Lewis acid. Carbene ion, it is negative charge. It is Lewis base. Okay, because it can donate the electron. Okay, negative charge means it has a extra electron, so easily it can form bond. Okay, it can donate and form a bond. Okay, that's all children. Lewis acid base concept. Okay, so here they will give here they have given some examples. Just go through this because in one more question they will ask among the following which is not a Lewis acid or which is a Lewis base, like that. Okay, so here maximum they are asking one question. Ethers, the general formula here ROR. Okay, ROR. According to Lewis acid base concept, ethers are, like that they will ask. Okay, so ethers are Lewis base because this oxygen is having a lone pair of electron on it. Okay, so using this lone pair of electron, you can form bond with the electron deficient compounds. Okay, so according to Lewis acid base concept, ethers are Lewis bases. Okay, one more question, Lewis base. You can write it anywhere, just write and keep. Okay, they will ask this one. Okay children, the next one we are going to see the strength of acids and bases. So acid base theories are over. Arrhenius theory, Lowry-Bronsted theory, Lewis acid base theory. Okay, just they have given an idea about the acid and base. What is acid, what is base. Okay, just they have covered all type of acid and bases. Now we are going to see the strength of acid and base. Okay, now strength of acid and base means strong and weak. Okay, strong acid and strong base, weak acid and weak base. Okay, so how we can identify whether the particular acid is a strong acid or a weak acid. Okay, so here we have learned this one in 10th standard. Okay, when one acid completely ionized, that is 100% it should ionize. Okay, when an acid completely ionized, then the particular acid is known as strong acid. If it is partially ionized, then it is called as weak acid. Okay, so that is the example. Partially means the bond does not break there. Okay, partially it will be present with the negative, the conjugate base. Okay, with the conjugate base it will present. Okay children, so complete ionization means completely it will dissociate. H plus separately and Cl minus, like that they will dissociate completely. Okay, so strength of the acid, strength, strong acids, strong acid or strong base, whatever it may be, it should ionize completely. Ionize completely. Weak acid and base, it will ionize partially. Okay, it will ionize partially. Okay, just the camphor in water, it won't dissolve, at the same time it will release that smell, isn't it? Okay, so like that the bond does not break even though it will show the acid property. Okay, so that is called what? Weak acid. Okay, partially ionized. Okay, so just some example for strong acid and base. Strong acid, HCl is a strong acid because it will dissociate as H plus and Cl minus. Okay, for strong base, NaOH, Na plus and OH minus, complete ionization will be there. Okay, example for weak acid and base, weak acid, formic acid or acetic acid. Okay, acetic acid formula CH3COOH. Okay, it will partially ionize, that means still it will be in contact with this parent compound. Okay, so how it will ionize? weak acid. And weak base example, ammonium hydroxide, NH4OH. It will ionize as NH4 plus and OH minus. Okay, just some examples, just make a note of it. You will get in 1 mark question. Okay, so now we are going to see with the examples. Okay, they have listed some strong acid and strong bases in page number 7. Just go through that. And now I am going to say one new concept of this strength of acid and base now. So listen carefully now. So let us take one acid, that is HA. Okay, HA. Here any acid, it is releasing H plus. In that concept they are taking here HA. Okay, acid. Base means OHB they will say. Okay, base. OH it should release OHB. B, in this place of B, it may be Na, OH, or Ca, or Al. Okay, like that. That's why they have given simply as OHB. Same way for acid here, HA. In the place of A, it may be Cl, HCl, or it may be HSO4, so that we will get H2SO4 or NO3. Okay, so in the place of A, some other ion will present, some other negative ion will present, so that we will get complete acid. Okay, so any acid here, it must have H plus. So here they are telling HA, so the acid must have H. Okay, so when you dissolve it in water H2O, okay, it will dissociate and it will form a product. Okay, how we will get here H3O plus, because we won't write H plus separately, isn't it? So H3O plus and A minus. Okay, next let us write the dissociation constant, is the formation constant for this one. We will get, okay, first let us write acid concept here. This is acid, I said no, acid. From this acid, who is released here? A minus. This is acid 1 means then it is base 1, because in equilibrium reaction it is going to accept H plus, so it can act as a base. Before Lowry-Bronsted theory is, I don't know, these two are conjugate acid base. Okay, now this is base. Sorry, this release H plus, so it is acid 2. It can accept H plus, isn't it? It can accept H plus and can convert into H3O plus. So it can accept H plus, so it is a base. So it is base 2. Okay, so now we can write K value for this equilibrium reaction. Concentration of the product H3O plus into concentration of A minus divided by concentration of HA into concentration of H2O. Okay, in this case the concentration of H2O is a very negligible amount. Okay, in 7th lesson we have discussed, okay, in chemical kinetics lesson we have discussed that is a pseudo first order reaction. The concentration, change in concentration of a solvent is very negligible. Okay, 1 liter of water, it contains 55.55 moles. Okay, but we are going to take only 1 mole to react. Okay, so change in concentration of the water is very negligible amount. So maximum we will neglect, this concentration we won't take. Okay, so that now this will become, this is for acid we are writing, so let us take here A. So Ka is equal to concentration of H3O plus into concentration of A minus divided by concentration of HA. Okay, so here when the dissociation constant, equilibrium constant of A, Ka, okay, when this value is greater, then the acid is a stronger acid. When this value is less, then the acid is a weaker acid. Okay, like that we can say. Okay, children, just write down this one. Here in your book they have given the Ka value for HCl and acetic acid and formic acid. Ka value for HCl is 2 into 10 power 6 and for formic acid 1.8 into 10 power minus 4 and for acetic acid 1.8 into 10 power minus 5. Okay, so when you comparing this, which has a greater Ka value? HCl, because it is 2 into 10 power 6. Okay, the remaining what? 10 power minus. Okay, so very less value. That means they are very weak acid. One more question. Okay, when the Ka value is greater, the strength of the acid also will be greater. When it is less, the strength the acid also will be weak acid or weak base. Okay. So here another one more question. Let us take here one example. Here generally we have written, let's say here HCl plus H2O, it reacts and produces H3O plus Cl minus. Okay, this is acid 1, this is base 1, this is acid 2, this is base 2. Okay, acid 1, base 1, acid 2, base 2. Okay children, now here they are giving another concept. Remember this one, very important. The acid, the base, the conjugate base which is coming from strong acid have less tendency to accept the H plus back. Okay, so releasing is very easy for them. Releasing H plus is very easy for them. Okay, let's say they are strong acid. Okay, but after releasing the H plus ion, it will become Cl minus. Okay, now the Cl minus, it is a reverse reaction. I said it will accept the H plus from this water. I said, but the tendency is very less. Okay, so accepting H plus for Cl minus is very less. So easily those who are accepting easily the H plus only can act as a strong base. Okay, but here the conjugate base which is coming from the strong acid have less tendency to accept the H plus. Okay, from the solvent or from any compound. Okay, so from this we can say the conjugate base which is coming from the strong acids are weak bases. Can you understand? The conjugate base which is coming from the strong acids are weak bases. That means they show poor tendency to accept H plus. Okay, whoever it may be donating person, but it will show very less tendency to accept H plus. Okay, because it is coming from strong acid. Already it is ionized completely. Okay, so such easily again it won't go and form HCl. Okay, but there is a possibility. That's why we are telling here it is a reversible reaction. Again they will form one, but they will show poor tendency to accept the electron. Okay, can you understand that one? So weak acids. Okay, from weak acid the base is coming. Let us say one example here. Acetic acid. Acetic acid formula CH3COOH. When they dissolve this one in water, here I will get H3O plus CH3COO minus. Okay, now this is acid 1, this is base 1. Okay, from this weak acid, this conjugate base is coming CH3COO minus. It has the tendency to accept electron. It has the tendency to accept electron in very fast manner. Okay, readily it will accept the proton from the H3O plus. Okay, so in the conjugate base which is coming from the weak acid can act as a strong base. Okay, now this base is a strong base. Okay, this acid is a weak acid. So weak acid, the base which is coming from the weak acid can act as a strong base. The base which is coming from the strong acid will act as a weak base. Just opposite, remember. Very simple. Okay, strong acid, so the conjugate base is weak base. Weak acid, so the conjugate base is strong base. That's all. Okay, because we are going to use the same concept one more time after 2 or 3 topics. Okay, so you must remember this one. Okay, so strong acid and weak base, remember that one. Here in page number 7 they have listed 1, they have listed some compounds, some strong acids and weak acids, and strong base and conjugate strong bases and conjugate strong weak bases, like that they have listed. Okay, very simply they have given, just you can go through that. See here, HClO4 HClO4. Here H plus is acid, ClO4 minus. Here these acids are strong acid. So from this the base is coming. This base can act as very weak base. So the base which is coming from strong acids are very weak. That's all. Okay. Same way for weak, here it will be strong. That's all, children. Okay, just go through this very important, very simple topic this lessons. Okay, first we have discussed about theories of acid and bases. Okay, Arrhenius theory, Lowry-Bronsted theory, Lewis acid-base theory, and then we have discussed about conjugate acid-base pair, and what is the strength of conjugate acid-base pair also. Now we have discussed. Okay, the conjugate acid-base pair strength you must remember, and Ka value we have discussed. When Ka value is greater, the strength of the acid also will be greater. Okay, very simple concept. This lesson is very easy lesson, very simple concepts only. Just go through this. In next class we will see the remaining. Okay, the pH value, Oswald's dilution law, buffer solution, and ionization of weak acids, how it will ionize, like that. Okay, like that we will see in the next class. Thank you, children.